Let's do it. Okay, cool. So we can cut it, edit it, whatever. I wanted it to be more not regular old questions of, hey, how was your move to Los Angeles? Which we got, it looks like you got 10 times. And I'm assuming, and also all the interviews I was reading was people just cutting out tiny snippets of things you had said.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know?
Like two statements, and the rest of it is them talking about it,
Right.
which I don't understand really. Why do the long interview?
The great thing though is Jessica's getting better and better and better at answering the same question. So
Okay.
it's like good practice.
Refining the art of the.
Maybe so. I really just want to get more creative about it.
Okay.
The
What do you mean? What's creative? What do you mean?
Like creative.
Like not give the real answer anymore.
Like come up
Like
with something
start
that's...
okay.
being a little bit more abstract.
Sure.
You want to start tricking the questionnaire and the audience maybe?
Just entertaining both.
Oh my god. Look who's walking up right now.
He's
Sanders
wearing
left his
my coat.
jacket. You left it at the house.
Is he the one that bought you that shirt?
That's Shane. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Or he wrote, and that's hilarious.
You saved your coat.
More than welcome to be a part of it.
Hey!
Totally my coat.
Another thing, sorry, I guess I'll say is what people that, what do you call a person that makes an interview?
That's okay. Okay.
Interviewer?
An
Interviewer.
Is well, they were
Thank you, man.
people that would do write-ups would after John Perales from the New York Times wrote this thing for like a year, people just rewrote his exact words.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe I would too.
I would too. He was really good.
Yeah, actually, I haven't studied interview. I haven't done anything like that. I listen to a ton of podcasts.
That's cool.
So, a lot of times, a lot of those podcasts are interviewing people, and it's more, I like the conversational aspect of it all as opposed to, like I was saying before, well, how was your move to LA?
Yeah, but it seems like you're really good at it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a natural.
Well, thanks. I've known you guys for a good
I just noticed
50
how
minutes.
beautiful your hair is.
Thanks. I just
Yeah.
wanted to outdo you.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
it's
win.
But this is.
Do you
This
think we
is
could
awesome.
pet you the whole interview?
That would make for.
Yeah.
That's
Although
fresh hair, dude.
you look like you were trying to do
I
it
wasn't
for us.
sure though. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to over pet.
It's okay. No, he's the touchy one. I've noticed. You gave me like 10 hugs last night. Were you drunk a little bit?
No way.
Okay.
No,
I don't
never.
drink.
You don't drink?
No.
Not on tour, at least.
Not on tour.
It's just really loving.
Yeah, so that's cool.
definitely his natural
Yeah.
presence. It's good to hug,
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
you know.
I've noticed coming out here, and I don't know if it's because it's like this is like Native American world.
Yeah.
Everything is it's a little more touchy, it's a little more, I mean, not in a gross way, but everything feels more personal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
personable, right? And I like that.
I like that about New
Yeah.
Mexico. Mhm.
Yeah, New Mexico. And my neighbors, they're Spanish. So everything is kisses on the cheeks and like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to sneak some tongue in there.
Yeah, it's like that a lot in Louisiana.
Is
For
it?
sure. If you don't hug your mom and kiss her on the cheek or the
Totally,
lips,
yeah.
even sometimes it's
Really?
like, you know,
That's an
yeah,
odd
your
thing.
grandmas always want to kiss you. They always hug. I mean, you hug your guy friends and
It's true.
your family members is always a hug. It's never just like, okay,
That's
bye.
nice.
You know, LA, I feel like LA could be like a lot of like,
We hug each other unless we're on tour because we constantly seeing each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys get sick of each other? Or is that happening yet?
not yet.
Not yet, no.
No?
No.
Because, and this is your first tour, all four of you
All
together.
together, yeah. It's been,
I'm more
it's been
sick
a pretty
of myself. I
peaceful
think.
vibe.
Looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
because
the
you
hardest.
takes so long to do all this.
No, I
That's
have the
natural.
hardest. It's natural. It's from 2 years of never looking at it.
Nice, nice.
It's I notice that when I'm getting upset in the van, it's at me. It's at myself.
Really? It's not
Yeah.
people yelling at you? Or?
No. It's usually my own inner struggle.
Well, that's wise.
Yeah, that's a musician thing to say.
Yeah.
Right?
There's definitely never yelling.
No
Okay.
yelling.
We're yelling, not yet.
Not yet.
I wish.
I wish.
Yeah.
And this is the first tour of all of you together, but
This for you.
as this four, but is what's that? But
This is the third Moon Honey tour in total.
in total,
Yeah.
right? And I've noticed there's just been people coming in and out, but and you weren't even there from the beginning. You're kind
Me?
of the yeah.
Well, They never went on tour without me, but
Okay.
they recorded 4 songs.
Okay.
And then when I joined the band, I wrote lyrics over the already recorded.
We were a different band than that. We were called another name.
That was the
Twin Killers.
You shall not be named. Yeah, that was the Twin Killers EP, right? Lemon Heart Opera.
Mm-hmm.
And was it the type of thing where how did they find you? What was the connection there?
I was going to paint Andrew's guitar cabinet. He's
Okay.
a friend of a friend. And Jermaine, the old drummer, came up to me and said, "Do you want to be in the band?" They were asking everybody. They were really desperate. "Do you want to sing?" And I was like, "I can't sing. No, I could never do that."
Really? That's insane.
And then like 2 months later, I was up late on MySpace.
When MySpace was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have seen
and I
Jessica's
emailed
MySpace, by the way.
Jermaine.
She was like one of those girls that had so much distracting.
Did you like custom edit it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
customized like
So
all
the,
these
like-
pictures and like.
I was a wannabe graphic designer, so
Yeah,
it's really
so you know, like,
bad.
all
You're the
the
artsy
HTML.
one. I saw that you guys had even put up for was it Kickstarter that you guys used? What was that?
Mhm.
Yeah, Kickstarter. You were painting or hand painting stuff for people. That's
Oh
And
yeah,
she
that was
cooked
really
for
fun.
people, too.
You cooked?
Did some portraits.
She's an
cooked for
amazing
people.
chef.
Whoa.
I made people bamboo frames. I was so exhausted
Jeez.
by the end of the Kickstarter. But anyways, yeah, I messaged Jermaine on MySpace
Mhm.
and said, "I really want to try out." And that was it. That was
She came over with all these broken pages of broken words, and we asked her to
what I would like to try to call poetry.
That's what it is, though, kind of, right?
we asked her if she could just like, she could sing over this stuff. And keep in mind, back then we were playing extremely all over the place technical
Uh-huh.
rock music.
Yeah, I noticed. It was definitely in the post-hardcore-y
Definitely,
feel. I mean, it was
yeah.
from As Cities Burns. Was
Yeah.
the influence behind that a little bit?
Well,
With Chris, right?
Well, what's funny is Chris actually joined after all the music was written.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really that surprises me because I feel like I heard that influence, or maybe you guys have the same influence.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a southern, like a Louisiana thing. All those bands,
Okay.
and the hardcore scene was very popular there.
Okay.
As Cities Burn being one of those
Right.
bands.
That's not a city I would think of.
Yeah. And so I think everybody had a tinge of that
Sure.
that thing.
And what band were you in prior to this?
Or
were you?
I wasn't in a band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just writing music.
I was in many bands actually.
Yeah,
I was in a
I was
pop,
about to say, what are you talking
I
about?
was in a pop punk band when I was 15,
Okay.
and then
Tom
after
and
that-
Curtis, they're on Last FM, right?
And then I was in a kind of experimental hardcore band, sort of like the Blood Brothers or.
Yes.
Um,
They're back.
Yeah,
we went and
watched
saw them
them.
in
We
Orange
watched them
County,
since the
Which
end.
is where at? I know they did
the observatory.
Okay. They did. I think they did an FYF or
Yeah.
was it? Yeah, Fuck Your Face Fest or I don't know what that is.
In Austin.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you were trying to emulate that, or that's stuff you were into.
I was super into the Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite thing.
Number
Fear-
12?
Fear Before the March of Flames.
Oh
that
my
stuff.
gosh. Before their newest stuff is really good too.
I haven't heard any of
Well,
that.
not Fear Before anymore, right? They're all broken up.
Oh,
but
okay.
All Humans, I think, is one of them.
Really?
Yeah, they have a couple other side projects, but yeah, it's
Wow.
good stuff. Orbits with bases from Between the Baronies in it too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So then after that, we moved on to, I got really into early 70s progressive rock, Yes, and King Crimson and all this,
Yeah, the original progressive.
all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's, and around that time is when we asked Jessica to sing. And when she started singing, I wish everybody in the world could have heard this.
Uh-huh.
If you've heard like cats fighting each other.
It was the most like beautiful animalistic thing I'd ever heard in my life.
That's awesome. Yeah, you really get into it. My friend pointed out the other day because I showed him. Well, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna hang out with Moonhoney soon," and I was like, "This is their old stuff. This is their new stuff. They changed a little bit." And the first thing he said, he's like, "Oh my God, that singer! It's just her inflections are like up here, and then it's down here the next second, and then back up here, and then back down here." And he loved it. He's talking about
that's
how
nice.
unique that is. I don't see that in a lot of vocalists, at least. They'll
Yeah.
go up slowly, down slowly. So.
Yeah, I'm just on a trampoline.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? That's a good expression. Good way to think about it.
Having fun.
We noticed that the reason why Jessica worked was because of her lack of, number one, her lack of ego.
Okay.
And kind of not, we were
I
trying
didn't feel that when I met you. I feel like you had the biggest ego.
when we,
Queen Diva.
Yeah.
when we first started.
You put out your hand and it's supposed to kiss it.
When we first started, we were trying out all these singers that actually had a musical background and none of them could do it.
Uh-huh.
You know, they just couldn't because they wanted to put their vocal style in it, whereas Jessica basically melted right into the music because our music was her musical style.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She didn't have like a prior thing, so it all fit together really nicely.
Yeah, the first time I ever heard it, that's the, because I've known him for a really, really long time.
Okay.
From all those bands he talked about. So it's like, yo, my new band, we're putting new music on MySpace. So me and my friends
Ooh, MySpace.
pulled it up on MySpace because he said, you know, we have this girl that's
It does
never
exist, by the
sung
way.
before, and she sang on it. I was like, this is gonna be crazy. So we listened to it, and the main thing was like, wow, how did she put melodies over this that actually work?
Right.
And I think kind of what he's saying, if someone had come to the table like with formal like training or had like done pop singing before, they would be like, I can't sing over this. There's like no way I could ever do that.
Right. So that lack of formal training and stuff helped.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right. That's good. You seem like you're blushing about it. And yeah.
Well, she's also a painter too, so I think she naturally knew how to paint over this very complicated canvas that we provided for her. I don't know.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So yeah, then we did that, and then all of a sudden, you know, we started following Jessica musically,
Okay.
and I started to seek out what I could do to be more like her vocal style, and I think we're still trying to move in that direction a little bit.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
I'm always fascinated by.
Keep talking.
Always fascinated by when people don't have those sort of barriers and boundaries that a lot of the time, like formal education can give you, or you know, having preconceived notions of how a melody is supposed to be or how a song is supposed to sound. When you have those, a lot of the times, it takes a lot more effort to kind of overcome them and actually be creative.
Okay.
And break down those, what am I trying to say? It's like you almost have, a lot of the times you have to forget everything that you've learned.
The rules.
Or anyone.
Yeah, you can't break the rules if the rules are too instilled in you.
Or anyone
So-
that you want to be, like someone, you know.
So then by that logic, if you don't know any of those rules to begin with, then you're all, in a sense, completely uninhibited to be as creative as you want, because you don't have that baggage of those rules.
Sure. There's these four walls, and you're not
Exactly.
supposed to break it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you guys broke the fourth wall.
Mm,
You're one of the bands doing it, which is awesome.
I hope so.
And it's all of you, I'm sure. I mean, the music that's written for the EP stuff, music that's written for the LP, you guys have the one LP. You guys were not in the LP, or in the writing portion of any of those. Right, okay. And so you're new to it, and it sounds like you were friends with everybody prior to
He was
it.
my roommate.
Yeah, we
Roommate?
lived together
Oh, okay.
for 2 years.
And he finally
before we
asked you,
moved.
kind of proposed.
Right. Well, we lived together for a long time, and actually when they were talking about moving, and Jermaine was thinking about going back to school, he called me and asked if I wanted to take over on drums, which I would have loved to, but I had already paid a lease in Nashville and moved like the next week. And so then they just went to LA, and then Nashville was great, but when they called me and were like, you should move to LA, I was like, yeah, I probably should.
Is that after your year lease, or?
No, it was 6 months.
6 months,
So
okay.
6 months in Nashville, and then I just packed my bags, hopped on a plane,
Now
and been in
we're
LA for a
in
month.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're still you're back in the same place.
Back where we started.
That's nice.
You went from one LA, Louisiana to
Right.
LA to LA.
That's true.
And right before I moved, we recorded some demos.
Which is about to actually be released. We have a new single that's going to be released like any minute now,
Sometime.
any day now.
Do you guys hear that? Cool.
It's getting premiered on a site.
All right.
So there had been new things that I had been part of the writing process in the playground, so it's like it just made
Okay.
sense.
Now it's working out. Now you're all kind of involved in this process.
Yes.
All right. And how did this work out for you? How did you get in this?
I saw them on their first tour.
Okay.
As
Twin Killers.
No, as Moon On.
As
This
Moon On,
was
okay.
the tour that was, I guess, basically for the album.
Yeah. That I was playing keyboard on,
I was
ironically
playing
enough.
keyboards. And then I signed up for their email list, and then when I heard/read that they were moving to Los Angeles, they were looking for musicians, I wrote them up and said, "Will you let me audition?" And we've just been playing ever since.
And I thought an alien was offering his service to us because
We were
When he-
we were looking for Anders in Los Angeles, but didn't really think that we were going to find someone like him that was like ready to commit, that was creative, super talented, like can play every instrument, and also wants to be committed to a original creative band that doesn't make any money yet.
Right.
You
And is
know.
willing to wear a sweatshirt like
Yeah.
this.
So we came in
Insist
Oh.
Insists on, not really, yeah, sorry.
and
Wrong
weird.
swords.
Another thing you'll also notice
It's the
about
best
Anders
way.
is everything always matches or doesn't match, but it's always so perfectly selected.
It is perfect. You can't see, but there's polka dot socks.
They match,
So,
yes.
When he first came in,
Yeah.
when he first came in to try out, well, first of all, I skipped past his email when he first wrote us
Why is
because
that?
it looked like some weird
'Cause we couldn't
spam
stop
alien
him.
person. I couldn't. His name is Anders, like Anders,
Okay.
but
It sounds fake. Sounds made up.
but no, his
No, it had like 5
his
W's
email
in it.
his email address
Anders.
it was spelled AWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWW
up for the Rite Aid card, do you give them that email? You should.
I totally should.
Yeah. Instead of it's like Hot Surfer Chick 69 or yours is that instead. Yeah.
Wild Boy 420.
Well, yeah.
I figured when I was writing them, I was like, because usually I put in the W, I would just be like AWN, so that people will know to pronounce it Anders.
Okay.
But like as I was writing them, I was like, I know these guys. They're gonna appreciate an excessive amount of W.
We did appreciate
We're heavy
the
exclamation
enthusiasm.
point sort of
Yeah.
people.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how you read that from their music, but okay.
I just got the vibe. I don't know. This you get a vibe from a body.
No,
Okay.
you were right.
So he shows up to the tryout wearing, which I'm obsessed with Jimi Hendrix
Okay.
to like the fullest maximum degree.
Sure.
And he came in wearing this like Jimi Hendrix pin with a feather boa and a top hat
That was the next
and a
one,
Rolling
yeah.
Stones shirt. And I was like, this is the most badass guy I've ever seen in my life.
Rock and
As you
roll
fell in
angel.
love.
I fell in love with Anders.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Well, you chose a band that everyone likes, and you
Yeah.
wear that shirt.
Yeah. The Rolling
Yeah.
Stones.
Yeah. On the other hand, I'm wearing a Toe shirt, which nobody knows. Any of you
Who's
know?
I haven't heard Toe.
Toe's a Japanese band. They do instrumental music.
Whoa.
Best drummer. Check him out.
Check 'em out.
Other
Toe.
drummer in the
Won't
band.
forget.
That's awesome.
It plays with just one toe.
Yeah. My favorite drummer in the world. I think they got picked up by Top Shelf recently. But that's just their American stuff. Anyways, go on. What were you saying?
Yeah, it's cool.
What?
Rolling Stones t-shirt.
Rolling Stones
Yeah,
t-shirt,
yeah,
and then a pin of like easily the most popular guitar player of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm gonna win these guys over. It was like a first date.
Exactly.
That's what it is, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
you can win me over with any like generic classic material.
But I wouldn't call a purple feather boa generic or, well,
That's
it
kind of
might be
Princey.
classic.
It's kind of Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw this figure of a person and I was like, I was hoping we would meet someone legendary, and I think we did.
I'm glad. I'm very, very glad. I think one of the best parts about this whole past couple of months is everybody in this band is just the best people.
That's awesome. You're essentially strangers as of a month ago, or?
No,
It's been 5 months.
I moved to LA January 26th and met Anders January 27th. And it
Okay.
was like,
And it's May 24th.
yeah.
Yeah.
April, wait, what
March
is it?
24th.
March 24th.
March 24th.
So you've
Yeah,
only
so-
known him for like a month and a half. or
Right.
something.
Through
And-
February and now. But the day we met, it was like we had known each other for a long time.
We all went down to
The dog beach.
the dog beach in Long Beach.
Long Beach, Dog Beach, yes.
Exactly.
Rosie's Dog Park is what it's called.
Oh, is that what it was?
And
Do you remember what he was wearing?
No, I remember what I was wearing.
what were you wearing?
I was wearing a Yardbirds t-shirt.
Oh, I remember that t-shirt,
What's
yeah.
that?
The Yardbirds?
So
band.
Jimmy Page's first band.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is so silly. But regardless, that's what I was wearing.
I think I was wearing my flower dress.
You guys remember? That's so, I can't remember shit. My girlfriend asks me sometimes, like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? I can't, like our first date, so she asked about our first date and I said, no, I don't really remember much, but I do remember this, and I was like kind of surprising her, oh, I remember that and that and that and that. And that's because I have a first date location,
Mm-hmm.
and a first date shirt, and a first date shoes.
Wow.
It's really bad. I mean, we've been together for a while now.
Busted.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, that's okay. This will be the first time she's hearing about
We're
it.
gonna leave this
Wow, that's
with
great.
you.
Yeah.
That's a great way to break it to her.
Yeah.
Via
It's
YouTube.
stuff. Okay. Well, yeah, that's definitely a big thing. You guys are the puerile
first date.
portion of your.
We had a good first date, let's
Yeah,
put it that way.
yeah,
With
yeah.
others. They had a good
And our
first date,
dogs.
and I had a good first date with them as well.
It's really great.
And then we went to a vegan donut place in
Yeah.
Highland Park.
That
What's
place
it called?
is so good.
Donut Friend,
Friends.
the guitar player
They're all
of
vegan.
Drive Like Jehu. Do you know that band?
Yeah.
He owns it, and they make like.
That's what he's
some-
doing now.
Yeah.
The best donuts.
They're the best donuts.
That's
you've ever had.
amazing. I'm vegan, so
Oh,
that's the kind
we
of
are
place I
too.
want. I don't think I've been there.
We fully endorse.
All of you?
Actually, Jessica
He
and I
names
are
them after
vegan.
bands. Like my favorite is the Samora. See, it's a Samora donut.
Oh.
And then they have the Bacon 182,
Bacon 182
which is
is my
coconut bacon.
Oh shit.
Which
Yeah,
tastes
it's
like
very good.
like
Maple
actual
bacon.
It's amazing.
Whoa, that's amazing. You know, guys know there's a ton of vegan places around here. I'm
went
sure
to-
you found
We
them.
always go to
There needs to be a moon honey
Annapurna's.
donut.
Huh?
Yeah.
We always go to Annapurna's.
Yes, amazing. The place is really good. Even their pizza's good.
Really?
Yeah, it's an Indian place by default, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and I get their I'll never remember the name of the dish, but it's good.
I
have to
I
trust
need it.
me.
Let's get it.
I was looking at the menu for Loving Vegan.
They're shutting down, so go now.
Really?
Oh
And
no.
just get their sushi, because their sushi's the best.
Really?
They're shutting down though within the next month or so. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but
I always get freaked out by the menus that actually say chicken or like pork on them and they're not. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah.
sure, even if it says like fake
Yeah.
next to it.
It's just because it's.
You'd rather hear like fried tofu
I'd
patty than like
Yeah.
chicken fried steak tofu. You know?
Right,
Or with,
right.
like with the V next to it.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
like-
know it's not steak,
Right,
but like
It's like reading
right.
fried human finger. You're like, but fake.
yeah. But it's just bread.
Fried human fingers.
Right. That's true. I guess I didn't think about that. It's a marketing thing, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Fried
You
human
can
finger
do
sounds
that.
like an amazing new metal.
Friday.
You can do
Oh
that.
my god.
I actually have a question for you guys. So we're trying to name our band right
Oh.
now, and it's either Colored Circuit or Colored Circuit, which isn't taken,
That's okay.
Cool. Or I just found out my guitarist's last name is Gambacorda.
Oh,
Any of you know Italian?
Don't.
I guess it means
Part Italian though.
short leg. And he just got his PhD Tuesday.
Oh wow.
So we're thinking Dr. Shortleg would be cool too.
That's a great.
That's Dr. Shortleg?
Dr. Shortleg, because
Wow.
he's a Dr. Shortleg.
That's my
his name.
favorite.
What's your-
That-
Colored.
I really like that.
What kind of music is it?
It's God, that's hard to. Actually, our singer kind of sounds like you. I don't think she'd ever heard your music, but
Oh,
just
cool.
by chance, she has the same kind
I
of.
was hoping it was a guy that you were saying.
That would be amazing.
Well, I've heard that me and Tiny Tim have like
Oh my
sort
God.
of the same voice.
I really like Tiny
Is that
Tim.
really
really
do the flowers
Tiptoe
go?
through the tulips.
Totally good.
What did he play? What instrument was that?
Ukulele.
Ukulele. Yeah. This is a weirdo.
He's a pro.
But
I love
great
it.
stuff.
But yeah, I think Dr. Shortleg, even though it might not be as sentimental, I've been reading lately that like, or I read that some good advice on naming your band, and it was saying always go with the option that's nearly impossible to copy. Like
Sure.
no one else would have thought about it ever, which
Okay.
we didn't do that.
I was gonna say, Moon Honey sounds
No.
like.
I read that afterwards, but you know, but it's also Just
Dr. Shortleg, yeah, it kind of gives me this weird tingly sensation in my spine.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a doctor's gonna come around and like kind of smack me with one of those little reflex hammers.
There's actually, when I thought about that, he like walked in and I was like, oh, we're playing again for the first time after he's got his PhD. I'm like, Dr. Shortleg, and then we all looked at each other like,
That's
oh
it.
shit.
You knew.
That sounds cool.
That's
It sounds
great.
like a punk band though, and it's not very,
No
not very
way.
punky.
I think I'm thinking
But it's not
like
very, yeah, it's
Sorry,
not,
it's okay.
what was the other one again? Colored?
Colored Circuit.
Yeah.
That's
That
just
one-
very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of sounds serious. It was actually between the Baron and me, it's just a progressive metal band. They have this album called Colors, and it's got these colored circuits on
Yeah.
them. And that's what made me think of it. And,
Oh, cool.
It's
Yeah,
a beautiful
yeah, yeah.
name for sure, but Dr. Shortleg is like, it's weird because Dr. Shortleg kind of bothers me.
okay.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it all day, and that's exactly what you want.
All right.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that.
It's stuck in my mind.
All right, Dr. Shortleg.
You know, you could always be twin killers. It's up for
We could be,
grabs.
and that's true.
Yeah,
That's
solid
easy.
name.
Was there another band like with a similar name at all?
Twin Killers? I don't think so.
There was a lot. What was funny is
Twin.
when Twin Killers was happening, there were so many bands popping up with the word twin in it. We were like, oh my god, we gotta change
Apex
the name.
Twins.
Well, like
They've been
Twin
around forever.
Shadows.
Twin Shadows, yeah.
There's all these band names. Like when we were on this South by one year, we just like read a whole page of twin names, and we were like,
They should have put you all on the same
But
stage.
of course
to
now
fuck
we're
with you
seeing
guys.
Mounts and Moons, so
And now-
we're calling it quits. This is our name.
I opened the South by book, and it's like, you know, a million moons.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe-
a good
alright,
name
maybe
right
like
there, a
three.
million moons.
Three moons.
That could be your name, Million Moons. Yeah. Okay, so Moon Honey though, that's a cool name. Who thought of it?
Jessica.
Yeah.
She was
Yes.
very persistent about naming the band Moon Honey.
Why is that? What made you?
I loved it.
You really threw you under the bridge there.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was the name of a soul singer. We went to the Stax Museum in Memphis, and Moon Honey, it was just reading some plaques and stuff. It's a really, really cool museum.
I cried there at the Stax Museum.
You cried?
Yeah, when they were showing the Otis Redding, like that kind of documentary thing. I don't know if you've ever watched Otis Redding videos,
I
but he's a tearjerker.
Okay.
Did you guys
I
get?
remember.
Okay. Did you guys get to see Isaac Hayes'
This car.
Yeah,
Oh my
spinning
god.
around.
Do you know
Oh.
Isaac Hayes, like Shaft?
Yeah.
I don't know if his car or his ring holder was more extravagant.
all these singers.
Yeah, they had,
You know, I
they all
think
had
I'm-
jewelry boxes.
I think I'm ridiculous because I bring a bag around with, deodorant. But these guys had boxes and boxes of for jewelry that they would carry around on tour, and
yeah, it's like rappers now.
wardrobe,
Yeah, like rap
cabinets. What happened?
Elton John, I worked at Elton John concert, and he had a road case with 300 pairs of shoes in it. He was only going to wear one that night, but he just, he needed his selection.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have all.
But he's Elton John, so.
You
he's-
worked.
he's
You
worked
worked
for
at
it.
Elton John?
Yeah, I used to do backlining for big concerts and production setup in Baton Rouge, the River Center.
Okay.
Yeah, we would take stuff off the trucks and it was shoes. It was this giant 12 by 9 road case. We're
Across
That's
the arena.
insane.
Yeah.
What do you need that many shoes for?
You got room in the truck, you might as well throw them in, you know?
my brother's in-laws, well, now they're married, but she kind of got remarried. This is actually just shit talking what I'm gonna do right now.
Do it.
So, hopefully they don't see it. We're on good terms. But they got remarried and they're 40 something right now. And they said to the DJ, you will not play Elton John because they're super conservative people.
Oh,
I told you the city I'm from, Rancho Cucamonga, is hyper conservative. It's actually, I read 15th most conservative voting city in the U.S. or something.
Wow.
Yeah, which is funny because right next to LA, but it's
Yeah.
the suburbs, so that makes sense.
Totally.
And that's the type of people you run into, and I'm like, you're shitheads. I don't like you. Elton John's amazing. Why
Yeah.
would you?
That's crazy. I recently
Even
realized
grandma's
that I don't really like many male singers at this point in my life anymore, unless
Change
they're
your-
gay and British.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elton John, Freddie Mercury, George Michael, Sam
should have
Smith now,
you
who's
should have
a
a
great
big
vocalist.
gay British playlist on your
Gay
iPod.
British males are the best singers.
Okay.
I found.
Okay with that.
And then American women.
Yeah, it sounds
Whitney
like
and Mariah. And
sounds like you're likening gay male guys to female singers, I guess.
I just think they're the best.
All right.
In this generation, at least.
That's an interesting take on music.
Yeah. Once Motown died out, we lost all the great male singers,
Sure,
and then
sure.
the English gay men took over from there.
Okay.
Somehow.
There's a lot of
What
Motown
about-
in the area you live in now, though. I think.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You just
Like new Motown?
No. When it was starting, it was
Hmm.
fine.
What would you like? You just like,
What about
you like men that can bear their feminine, their emotional side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
They just happen to be British.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Huh.
Everything good is
It's British.
British.
Yeah.
And we are not being, what's the word? Not racist.
Heterosexist.
I'm very happy to say I have a British passport.
Really?
Yeah. So,
So you're talking about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That is why you're so good at guitar.
No.
You're British.
But you're from the bayou.
Are you guys gonna fight?
Explain why you have a British passport. It's because
My family is originally, well,
Andrew grew up
they
in the
date from
Cayman
Jamaica.
Islands.
They're from
yeah.
Jamaica, and
Okay.
they moved in like the 50s to the Cayman Islands
Okay.
in the Caribbean, which is a British territory,
Okay.
and that's where I grew up until I was 13 or 14.
Okay. At this point, there will be a giant map that will be on the screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Geography lesson,
Where's
'cause I don't know.
that?
Yeah.
It's in between Cuba and Jamaica.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
You'll see a little bitty dot that will probably not be named.
And I'm sorry, you said you grew up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I lived there from when I was 1 until I was 13.
Wow. That was what's it like being an islander, that experience?
I had a tan and an accent.
Oh yeah, can you give us a little
What is the Cayman Islands?
patois?
That's why, yeah.
It's like a British Jamaican hybrid.
Did you lose it over time?
I did.
Oh, no.
Well, I went to like the absolute whitest, most conservative Baptist school in Baton Rouge directly after I moved.
Okay.
Um,
So you were the dark kid with the accent.
Yeah.
What does that accent sound like? I don't know.
Well, they either said I was from, they would change the word Cayman to Gayman, so they'd say I was from the Gayman Islands, and they would always.
So clever.
Real original.
I know, right? And they would.
Andrew
they would
Fartman from the Gayman Islands.
They would immediately ask. Good one, Jessica. They would immediately ask if people wore clothes there, if there's TV.
Really?
Maybe like cracked coconut between you.
Yeah, we're
all
hunter-gatherers.
They all called me a pothead, and they asked if the only thing people listened to was Sublime there,
Which
which
is pretty true.
funny because
Yeah.
if there's no TVs and nobody wears clothes, then how would we listen to Sublime?
Right. Somehow you found a way
Yeah.
just for Sublime. They didn't say Bob Marley.
There's satellite dishes that are just picking up Sublime
Just
frequencies.
That's ridiculous. So apparently my friend lived behind the drummer of Sublime. That was the punchline. I shouldn't have started with that. Because she would say,
Redo.
there's this drummer that lived behind me growing up, and I hated him because he just played all the time and it was so annoying. I didn't even think it was that good. Later on, she found out it was the drummer from Sublime, which is crazy. Yeah, in Orange County, they're all from there.
Yeah.
You guys are around so much good music.
Had to be that high-tuned snare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you gonna? Did you want to give us an accent?
I can't. No.
you can't
Come
do
on.
it?
It would take. I would have to go inside and
And
practice.
what does your mom say? Andrew, I'm gonna beat your bunkie. I can't do it. That was like an Irish
It does sound. It's like a weird
Let's get it
Irish
straight. What's a
Jamaican.
bonke?
Bunky. That's what they.
bunkie.
Your butt.
Your butt.
Okay,
Beat
just
your
wanted to
butt.
be sure. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, interesting.
Can you just do that one sentence back and correct me on that Irish accent?
We'll come
I
back to
really
it.
want to hear
Come
it.
on,
We'll come back to it.
No, come on, Andrew, I'm gonna beat your bunkie.
This is gonna go viral.
Badass.
This is gonna be
This will be viral. Yeah. Andrew gets his bunkie beaten. Sounds like the name of your next porno or something.
Is Albatcha.
Bonky beat.
That's
with
like
Moon
so
Knight.
Irish.
Oh, what?
Bunkie.
No, you did good at it. Jessica's good at it.
Come on, give it.
You don't want to. You feel like you're making fun of your mom.
Or they call him Bata Boy if he wears his little red shorts on the
Yeah.
beach.
Bata boy.
Yeah, we would all get called Bata boys if we went there.
Bata
Am
Boy.
I supposed to know what
Shoot
that
your
is?
mind.
It's what they would
Another.
call George Michael, essentially, if he.
It was
What, there?
another British feminine feelings person.
What are those string of words you were saying right
Men
now?
that aren't afraid to show their emotions.
Bought the boys.
About the boys.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a new thing for
Or
me.
their upper thighs.
It's always one of the two. Yeah. What if they're doing both? It's way too much.
They're
This is
in
too much.
trouble.
Overload. Overload of bottom.
That's amazing. Okay, cool.
No, just one little beach or bronco.
I can't do it. It has to be a part of like a dialogue, you know?
I got you.
Right.
I got you.
We'll come back to it. Get me real angry and it'll come out.
They're having their first fight, although I'm sure it's not the first.
No,
Yeah.
we've never fought.
Actually, I had a question about the. You guys had a video up of where you were recording your. I think it was the LP at the time, and it was in this really cool looking house, and with the hammock and all that stuff. Where
His
was
house.
that? Your
That was my
place?
house in-
That's awesome.
Yeah, we lived in the middle of the woods in Louisiana,
Okay.
and that's where we made that album.
That's a
We had, like,
place to make
photos.
music.
Yeah, it was the most isolating, rat-infested, swampy mosquito.
Step outside, get bit by
Raccoons,
12
possums.
It was like
mosquitoes.
every time.
You really made it sound beautiful. And
No, it was beautiful. Every time I got bit by a mosquito, I played a brand new note that I never knew existed.
Anytime you put your trash out on the front porch,
The raccoons come
raccoons
out.
would disperse it.
It's like we had a whole backup band of raccoons.
Jeez. Okay. So you guys were always on the verge of getting
Stinks.
rabies.
Water
Yeah.
moccasins all around the house.
Mm.
Okay.
Sounds like,
Interesting.
sounds like it reminds me of like Snow White, where she calls in all the animals to help her.
Oh, that's
Shit
true.
like that.
I thought you were gonna say Water Boy.
Why would it remind me of Waterboy?
It's the same movie essentially, right? Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right. That's because
Yeah.
he lives in the swamp there.
Yeah.
That was people's perception of Louisiana for a long time.
So
from
many
that movie.
spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
roaches.
That's,
We'd get these big pregnant spiders.
oh god.
Oh.
If you
What's the worst
touch
hat?
them, like millions just come out.
It's my least favorite type of pregnant spider.
Sounds like a haunted house
And
right
pregnant
now.
people in general. No, I'm just kidding. There's got to be a name for like racist for people that don't like pregnant people. There's got to be a name for
I'm sure
that.
there is.
Pregnanphobia.
Pregnanphobia.
Pregnant.
I wish there
And
was.
then there's the opposite, the people that really get dirty,
Into pregnant.
is really into pregnant
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was some sort of moral abortion for those spiders.
Yeah, as a
I
vegan, it's
tried-
like really,
Yeah.
but
I
I'm
tried
like
to pick them up on paper and take them outside.
Yeah, that's what
But
I
they
do.
don't want
They come
to
right
do
back
that.
in.
They're trying to just do their own thing, and unfortunately, it doesn't line up with what
What you want?
our thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
But
shower.
yeah, I mean, you're not hurting it, so you're moving,
Exactly.
relocating's okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Ish.
For sure.
Yeah.
They don't
It
belong
gets
in that
a
tub
it gets
anyway.
a weird fine line too with roaches, you know, because spiders. I don't know. I feel like it's easier to love them. You know,
Spiders?
and pick them up and bring them outside, whereas cockroaches, you just like have to find something really deep in your heart to let them go
You have-
outside.
You have to really dig up some heartfelt.
Listen, I respect you, cockroach. You've been
Right.
around way longer than the human race.
You need to listen to some Jimi Hendrix or some
Yeah.
Elton John before you do anything.
I have to go to my I have to remember like childhood memories that are like really happy.
You have to pretend the roach is ice cream.
Exactly. Don't eat it.
Yeah. You gotta put on the sweatshirt. This sweatshirt before.
I gotta put on the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Save a
That makes
cockroach.
sense. You're like in Cockroach City right now. There's
Really?
so
Oh,
many
really? Yeah.
In
cockroaches
here?
out here.
Louisiana has a lot too.
There's
Really?
one thing,
Cool.
that's the strangest thing about living in Los Angeles. I don't see any
Nope.
bugs.
You're not going to.
It's kind of frustrating.
Really? You
It's
wanna
like
be in the swamp
I
again?
need something to bother me.
Okay.
I didn't realize until we went back to Louisiana just how loud the cicadas and
Oh yeah.
the bullfrogs are.
Oh,
You know, we wake up at my mom's house, which is in the swamp,
Uh-huh.
and it's just
So
like
you just all lived in the swamp?
everything's
You're all
on
swamp
fire.
Well, not.
No, not really.
Her
his
mom's house is in the
People? You are
swamp.
making it
His is-
sound like
Her mom,
Bobby.
her mom lives
He
in
li-
Alligator Bayou.
He lives in the woods.
Yeah, the house we lived in was more woods.
Okay.
And my house was like probably half a mile away from Alligator Bayou, where like you know in the swampy water and stuff.
The
where
safe place.
You could go on swamp tours and like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's pretty cool.
Were they? So they were big, small. I like.
All sizes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
You weren't scared.
My little brother can make the, like dying animal noises to get them to come to you.
Come to the
Really?
shore.
Why would you want that?
He's a rebel.
That sounds like not a good idea.
They like really won't
He does
attack
it for Instagram.
humans. Yeah, he does do it.
This is to give you an idea of Jessica's family. They're the sweetest, most incredible group of people ever. But when I first met Jessica's brother,
He's like, come
he's like-
watch me kill this
he's
frog
like,
with
come
blow
out
gun."
here, Andrew, come out here. And I followed him out into the yard, and he took a blow dart and just put it right through a frog's head.
Whoa.
And just like picked up the dart with the frog on it.
And you were crying.
And it was amazing because like Jessica's vegan and her brother is like the murderer of the swamp. It was
Yeah,
so sweet.
he's a little hunter. You know,
Yeah.
he hunts, but he's also like really understanding of veganism.
Very
for
sweet.
his age.
So he's nice, but then he's like, hey, look what I lived
Yeah.
through.
He's never been mean to me, but he's also very flamboyant about his lifestyle.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's one of the few forms of entertainment down there. Is
So some blow
Yeah.
darts.
It's like
Yeah.
shooting squirrels with your BB gun.
yeah, BB guns and blow darts.
Okay.
And it's a tradition. That's more than anything in LA.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, it's definitely engraved into the culture.
Well, you know,
You
I
don't find
can
that in LA.
I can somewhat respect like I hate saying this because I just can't kill an animal,
Sure.
but they'll eat that squirrel.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah.
I know there's roadkill people that only eat roadkill.
Mhm.
There's people that only eat the hunted stuff.
Yeah.
Did your family eat squirrel? Yeah.
No, that is not their main diet.
squirrel-
You really skirted around
But
the
I'm just
idea that
saying,
they
but
do
I'm
eat
just saying,
squirrel.
like when they go hunting, it's not like a sport, like
yeah,
a
Louisiana's
waste, a
definitely not a
wasteful
sport.
thing.
A
Yeah.
sport hunt. They always will eat the deer or the frogs or the rabbit or.
To some extent, it's sporty though, right? Because they
Well,
don't
yeah,
need to, right?
right. You don't
Yeah.
need to. It's sporty, but there's a lot of places where they'll kill it, just get it taxidermied,
Yeah,
and like
Sure.
get rid of the body. Like I guess in like
It's
Yeah.
maybe
really
more
Is
dark.
it
northern
actually
places.
a sport though? That's what's funny is they call it Sportsman's Paradise, but is anybody actually running to kill the deer?
Yeah.
Or
Is
doing
anybody
any
getting,
sort of
like,
athletic
physical activity?
workout other
Yeah,
than
this
sitting
is the sport.
sitting in the deer stand? I guess it's more of an accuracy test.
Right.
Yes.
It's kind of like an IQ test.
Mm-hmm.
For,
A vision,
for Southerners.
vision test. Well,
Okay.
They're just visionaries.
Ah.
visionaries.
There you go. That's new stuff. Okay, so the first time you had met the brother, that's what happened, and you guys fell in love from there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
pretty much.
Right.
Thanks for that.
Love
So,
you,
yeah,
Jake.
come down to Louisiana one day and stay at Jessica's mom's house.
Yeah, yeah.
You get squirrel for dinner.
Yeah,
Her mom-
No.
My mom's the most amazing
Her
person.
mom is just the absolute best.
Yeah.
You've all met the family then.
She made us some vegan meals. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
She sells merch for us in our well, not local anymore, but when
Right.
we're in Louisiana. She's the best merch person.
Yeah.
Really?
She's
So nice to
extremely
have a-
supportive. I love you, Mom.
She will make you buy something.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you're standing within 15 feet.
She's like, hey, did you know that's my daughter up there? She's like, don't you want a shirt? Don't you want a shirt?
Aw.
Yeah, you better buy a shirt.
You want a shirt.
Oh, that's nice. That's Southern love, kind of. Yeah, that's what she's like.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
She really opened her mind to the band too. She has all my lyrics printed out on pink paper,
Laminated.
paper in like nice like cursive font. And,
Wow.
and she sat down with me and like wrote down notes on all of them. Like she'd be like, I don't understand what this means. Like, tell me in depth. And
It's
I'm
like all sexual. And, yeah.
I'm like, well, Mom.
69s are. Oh, it's kind of a yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's awesome.
You end up
That's
having
really
to
and
talk.
then she laminated them and just like memorized them.
sweet.
I know.
So she
She's
sings
so-
along and
yeah, she
stuff.
does.
She has videos of herself where she put her Jessica's mom, where she put the camera, like while she's driving, she turns on the song and sings along, like lip sync to the song.
Oh
And
my
she has
gosh.
videos of those are really good.
That's cute.
And this coming from a woman that like called everyone in the band when I first joined and was
Yeah.
like, Jessica can't be in the band.
Really?
Yeah, because she was
Yeah.
like, she is in college right now. She has to finish. Like, she has a job.
Ah, okay.
She's like, y'all, like, she can't be a part of this band. And so Andrew had to
You're like-
convince her.
I was the guy that didn't go to college. And yeah, she'll
Andrew
do
was
great.
like, Andrew's like, she has a full-time job. Like, she's gonna finish school.
What were you doing?
I was working for a company named PreSonus, an audio company
Okay.
in Baton Rouge, and I was doing in-house design. Like I interned and then I worked there, and I graduated from LSU in fine art. And so, yeah, like I mean, you know, but what Andrew had to convince her was like she's working for an audio company. Like they believe in music. They're gonna let her be in a band and work here if she wants to. And they totally did. They did. And then
Wow, that was really you
That was good.
really like snuck in there, didn't you?
Presona said, yeah, they let me go on tour. They let me do my thing until I reached this point where I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Right. Give all the rest up. But
Yeah.
that's okay. It seems to be working out.
Yeah,
You guys
I
look
finished
like you're
school and
having
Mom is
fun.
proud of me now.
Aw.
Yeah, she was
she's got
proud
the-
of me
The
then.
pink laminated paper.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Does your mom like practice your guitar?
Yeah.
I also have like in the guest bedroom, I have a shrine of like newspaper articles framed like my baby pictures and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What's my other?
Yeah,
I have
a little
9
collage.
brothers and sisters, so I'm not the only one with a shrine, but
So clearly you're becoming
I'm
a
the
favorite
baby.
slowly.
Yeah, we're the most famous amongst them.
Until Jake has a hunting show or something. when
Yeah.
he's a little older.
Well, yeah, my sister is a petroleum engineer, so I guess she could like post like her like spreadsheet
Her
reports
paychecks.
or something. Yeah,
Her
her
paychecks. Her paychecks all the time.
She's like, look what I'm getting that you're not getting. Yeah, see this cash? Yeah.
She does. She's so smart, and she does an incredible job at her work. But yeah, there's just not as many newspaper articles about it. That's the only thing.
The silent heroes.
Right.
Silent.
Drilling the earth.
Yeah. Super vegan.
Drilling for the good of all humanity.
She's vegan.
Oh, she's vegan too?
Yeah.
Is that a hard discrepancy for her? That, no? Well, obviously there's different moralities of vegan. That one's the more environmental side, right?
Environmental.
She
Yeah,
has. I think that it does bother her, and so she comes. I think she's gonna have some great. She's been coming up with some really good ideas for different drills, and she wants to like make a shift into
Drills,
more,
like what do you mean drills?
Like she has a design
Like
for,
just drill
for
in
a certain
indigenous
type of
countries, ones that didn't
a certain type of drill that's more efficient. But
Okay.
I don't know. I think we'll see. She's.
Yeah, they'll put
She's
these out
gonna-
too.
yeah,
They
yeah.
might pass. You might
Yeah.
need that pending.
I know.
Copyright infringement right here. That's what I'm thinking about this sprite. Like, do I need to blur it out?
Probably will, actually.
Yeah.
Aquafina.
All the people that are listening to the show are going to become petroleum.
My water is called Nice Spring Water, so
Nice.
It's the best
I don't know if
around.
that's a brand or just like a compliment.
By the way, if you're ever in Los Angeles, there are the absolute best vegan restaurants there.
Yeah. I mean, I've done the whole tour.
Oh,
of
so
the
have you
vegan
done
stuff.
have you done Sage in Echo Park?
Done Stage in Echo Park. I love Sage.
Flore is a really good
Elf.
restaurant.
Flora.
Elf is so good.
Elf
It's
is
vegetarian.
not all the way vegan, but
Okay.
it's vegetarian, but it is unbelievable.
Okay.
The most creative food.
The best pizza, I think, is like Sliders or something.
Oh,
Grinders.
Cruisers.
Cruiser.
Yes.
Cruiser
Cruiser
pizza, and they
pizza.
deliver
Best.
to our house.
So
Oh my
good.
amazing.
They deliver. I didn't know that. Yeah, they do
Yes.
the garlic crust, and that's the best pizza I've
It's
ever had.
amazing.
It's
Yes.
pretty good. Have you been there?
No.
Oh, we're gonna have to
We
order.
ordered
We'll
it.
get
Remember to
one.
the practice room.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that place is so good.
Now you're in on
They have
it,
a
yeah.
Jamaican sauce that you can get. Oh, it's so good.
It was
Logan
really freaking good.
Isn't even vegetarian. He said that Sage's burger was the best burger he
Really?
ever had in his life.
Okay.
Sage is so
The
good.
walnut, blueberry, chipotle
Whoa.
burger.
That's a lot of
Side
flavors.
potato salad, avocados.
It's stuck with you.
That was great.
I feel so fortunate to get to enjoy those things.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the.
Well, we moved half across the country.
Basically to get them, yeah.
Yeah.
We had one restaurant in Baton Rouge, and I love Baton Rouge, but we had one restaurant that had a Boca burger.
That was the extent of veganism.
But then we found out that it was the whole time it was the Boca burger with
Had
cheese in it.
Oh.
But it was so like oily and greasy that I didn't even realize it had cheese in it.
There's cheese, like melted cheese.
So-
Inside of it,
and
like
Boca.
little pockets. or
Why would they do that? That's not.
So
I think to hold it
Thanks,
together
Boca.
is like
Okay. Yeah.
it's amazing to get to eat more than French fries.
Oh, you're gonna have a whole world ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And even on the outskirts, if you go down to San Diego, there's a ton.
I bet.
Yes.
And obviously San Fran's pretty amazing. Portland, I think, is second biggest like vegan city, and
I
I
love
think I heard
Portland.
the first one is Austin actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, Portland is pretty crazy.
And actually, I heard the vegan like country of the world is Germany. of all places.
What?
They have like vegan street with all vegan supermarkets, with all vegan. Actually, I have a friend. I should have said this in the beginning.
Bratwurst is like the first word that came to mind when you say Germany.
Yeah.
So weird, huh? Yeah, there's documentaries and stuff on it. I forgot to say, I have a friend that runs the only vegan grocery store in the United States, and it's in Rancho Cucamonga, in the city I was telling you about.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Viva La Vegan.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
been there, but I've heard of that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where Vaughn and I are from. It's like I walk there. I used to walk there, at least when I lived there.
How cool.
Yeah, really cool.
We're gonna have to make a stop.
Yeah, just take an hour drive. You get all your, just like stock up your shampoo for the month, or whatever.
That's awesome.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of great. Actually, there's one closer. I forgot they opened a second location closer to you. It's near LA. I'll find out and I'll let you
Yeah,
guys
let us know.
Sure. Yellow bus.
I miss the bus.
It's so crazy because I'm vegetarian,
Uh-huh.
but the two of them have introduced me to some of the absolute best vegan food in my own city.
Yeah, that you didn't know about?
Like that I didn't even know about.
That's crazy.
In my own city, it's not like
It's because they took the time to Yelp. Is that why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're raging appetites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's okay. You plan a lot, so that's good.
Yep.
That makes sense. So what do your families think about you taking off and being on the road, or?
I'm really lucky in that both of my parents have always been extremely supportive.
Yeah,
Like my dad comes to every show, my mom comes to a lot of them,
that's awesome.
and they're just happy that I'm doing what I love to do with great people.
Best kind of parents. They're happy that you're happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Both of them are really cool about it. Very, very chill.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. My parents, they're a little. It's all started with my grandma. When I was a kid, my grandma would dress me up. She
No,
would
you
dress
need to go
me
back
up.
in lineage.
Yeah,
You can hear the
well,
whole
I was
story.
obsessed with Michael Jackson when I was a kid. Still
Okay.
am.
He's got a Michael Jackson
I have a Michael
tattoo.
Jackson tattoo on my leg right
On your
here.
leg.
But my grandma would dress me up and like cut my jeans and like give me a glove and cut off the fingers. I had a little white guitar when I was 5. And she'd put me in front of the TV and put Michael Jackson's Black or White music video on repeat. And I would just dance and try to play it and
I need
stuff.
those pictures.
And I have a DVD.
I
My
know.
girlfriend has it actually.
A
A
DVD.
DVD. My grandpa is like really. He took the VHS to convert it to the computer, put it on DVD.
Ah, okay.
Damn.
He's awesome. So she was always like just really pushing, like, you know, do whatever you want. You know, super awesome grandma.
That's great.
And my parents are super awesome too. They obviously wanted me to go to school too. My dad's a very successful financial advisor.
Okay.
My mom's a businesswoman in sales and stuff. So
So
they
you took
wanted me to do
opposite-
college. I was like, all right, I'll go to college. And I really wanted to go to college because I played in drumline in high school and middle school, and I wanted to play in college drumline and
Sure.
have that whole experience and do the football games and all that stuff. So I went to Louisiana State as well in Baton Rouge, which is why I lived there. And then after that, you know, it's like, well, you have your degree, you can do whatever you want, you know. We know this is all you want to do and all you really can do with your life, so
Sure. Did I
do
miss
it.
it? What did you say your degree was in?
My degree, I had a triple minor. It was like interdisciplinary
That's
studies.
possible?
Yeah, an interdisciplinary studies degree, which was 3 minors made up the one degree. And it was
Okay.
in business, communication studies, and sociology,
Oh wow.
which is a bunch of cool things to know a little bit about, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to take a bunch of public speaking classes, which is good for stuff like this.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you project.
yeah.
I'm gonna start talking like Logan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had so many classes. I took a storytelling class where the whole grade was like every day you had to get up and tell a different kind of story.
Really?
Fiction, personal, something you made up, like
I could use that.
autobiography.
I think I might just take a little course.
It was a
in
great class.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. My girlfriend has a degree in sociology as
Yeah.
well.
And sociology was also really cool. The coolest thing about sociology is that you're studying like stereotypes, but in a science, you know? So it's like,
Right.
there are things like, well, can we really like say that? And they're like, yeah, we did studies, you know, like, you know,
Yeah. There's actually.
without getting into detail, like stuff about people with tattoos and deviant behavior and all this stuff, like
Like
getting
Right.
taught, getting taught by a guy with tattoos, you know,
Yeah.
not saying that it's wrong, but studies show that people that get tattoos have this kind of personality, you know. so
Especially
you can-
Michael Jackson ones.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You can prove, you know, things that sometimes people say, well, don't generalize. Like, well, actually, there's a study, you know.
Yeah. There's I understand what you mean by that.
it's confusing.
It is
in a way.
confusing, and you just hear the term generalization, and
Yeah.
it's immediately like you want to say no, that's
It's
wrong.
negative,
But
right.
there's a reason that like they do exist, and there are statistical
Right, there's
stuff that goes along
extensive
with
studies on it.
That isn't to say they're all like that, though. I
Right.
think that's what people get upset about.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Just kind of you're gonna run into a lot of.
I wish
generalizations
let's put it this way. I
nowadays.
wish everyone had to take sociology
Yeah.
in their life, you
Totally
know,
agree.
so they would
I
stop
took-
being so upset
I took
about
101.
things. Did you?
Woo.
Did you get
I got an
an A? Yes, like the easiest. I got an A in every sociology class, and I'm not that good in school.
I'm not sure if I went to too many of the classes, but
I didn't either.
either.
They sent all the
No,
PowerPoints out here.
What were you doing for a
I'm
job,
done.
though? What were you doing?
I was just ripping, man. No, I'm
The end
kidding.
of
He
story.
was actually, yeah, I think that Andrew always had a very clear vision
What he was doing.
of music, and he really had to wait this long for everyone to get in line with him. We do all have, I think this band like has a very strong, unified vision of what, you know, what we want to do now, like making our career in music, whereas like, you know, your early 20s, everybody's just
Well, it's hard to get.
confused.
To me, it seems like such an easy idea to get in a tour van and go all year round and practice every day and write songs because that's the only thing that I'm capable of doing. So I kind of expected everybody else around me to be the same person, you know.
Sure. That was your world.
Yeah. So when everybody else was in college, I was like, why are you guys
Or
going
I
to
can't,
school?
I can't leave my job,
music,
I can't quit my job, I
Like
can't,
we can
yeah.
do this. You don't even need that. But you know, so I was always waiting for people to like get done. But now it's amazing because everybody's just like looking at each other in the eye, you know, in a circle, saying. And that's another good point. There's 4 of us. Anders made a good point. Apparently,
Doors didn't want 5 people because they represent those 5 angles in a pentagram.
Really?
Whereas 4 is a perfect square, like solid construction.
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can't put anything on top of a pentagram, no matter how you.
You can't put anything on top of a triangle.
I think that we talk about this a lot. Get off
Shapes,
topic
yes,
just a little bit. No, just go back to what we were,
The circle's just not.
what we were kind of saying about college. It kind of worked out in our benefit because a lot of times I always say I wouldn't trade my college experience for anything, but I always sit around and think, well, if I would have just started trying to play drums professionally when I was 18, maybe this would have happened.
Sure.
But we always talk about like, I'm really glad we didn't become like a great or end up in a great band at 18 because a lot of those young bands kind of peaked too early and then they were 25.
There's always a.
And there was like the downfall. You know, we're all in our mid 20s and like grew up and you know
Well,
had
also-
experiences and now like
Yeah.
we can actually be professionals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas it's outside of like being kids
And
trying
when
to
you
be in a
don't just
band,
get
you know?
picked up by a label and signed and like, you know, have the dream come true that you wanted, you start to learn how to do everything that, or do a lot of things that a manager or a label or a publisher would do for you, and you know, you're just gaining this knowledge that
Which we
you
couldn't have
can't
done
be
at 17
you can't
or
be
18
taken
years
advantage
old,
of.
you know?
Right.
Knowledge
right.
is power, right?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like now DIY is a huge thing, and
Well, yeah, because of the internet, because of music streaming and MP3 downloads and being able to book your own tour, being able to, it's sort of a, you have no other choice, really, you know.
Do you like it like that, or would
Yeah,
you?
totally, and I'm so into it, like the art aspect of it. Like I love being able to feel in control of my. I don't want to say brand.
It's your space, your
Yeah,
band.
my
essentially,
projects.
it's
Yeah,
your
like
project.
everything. All of our mistakes are ours.
So you're not going to be paying anybody soon to do your artwork for the band, for the album.
I don't think.
I need the band.
I have found some photographers that I want to work with and
Okay.
stuff, and
So collaborations.
collaboration's good, but
Okay.
but as far as like a label, we're gonna take care of this for you, it's probably not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Jessica has a pretty clear view of what we need to do,
Mhm.
which is good. It's really difficult to always be hiring like
Mhm.
and expensive to just be getting people to make like a poster for this, a poster for this. So it's amazing that we can have all the power right there
Sure.
inside the band.
Exactly.
Um,
The more you can have in-house the faster you'll get, and cheaper you'll get things done.
Sure, sure. Yeah, and now you can even like you could record
You
at
can
your own
record
place and
and-
do everything. It's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah, I started. I think I learned a lot about that through like Jeff Rickley from Thursday, who's all about DIY stuff.
Yeah.
Touche Amore.
Yeah.
They were all about that. I want to say they were. Now they're on like Rock Nation, Rockefeller, like Jay-Z's.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I think that's their band management though. I don't think it's the record label.
Okay.
There's
But-
definitely a point and I could totally understand in any band where you're just like, I don't want to do this myself anymore.
Sure, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's tiring.
But then,
It's-
you know, we
it's
just read this
exhausting.
thing that one of my favorite bands in the world, Deerhoof, they just put out a thing. I mean, they've been like relentless for 20 years, touring and playing, and
They're 20 years older.
they were saying that, I mean, they travel in like a little minivan using like tiny little amps. They do everything. They make all their recordings, you know, and they make DIY work. Whereas
That's
so many bands think they need all these, you know, labels and management and all this, and all that's really nice. But I enjoy like actually having to go talk to the person at the end of the night who
Yeah.
put the show on. And
Well, Andrew's a businessman by nature. Like, I have a business degree and I'm 1/100th the businessman, and you know, I could never be the businessman Andrew is.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just not good at it.
And the one that didn't go to college and didn't do all the
He
stuff.
kills it.
And
Well-
it goes to show that education isn't everything.
Street smarts.
Yeah.
Street smarts are the most undervalued.
well, you
thing
learn
on
a
earth.
lot by getting screwed over
By
like
doing
many
it,
times. You know,
That's happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're 18 years old going on tour and I'll just play for free, or like, you don't have to give me anything, like, please let me play your club. And,
Sure.
you know, after, you know, once your band actually starts bringing people in, and then you're still not getting any reward from it, you learn to form a backbone
Good.
and come up with a guidelines, at least, of how you should be treated. Especially when you're driving for 10 hours a day,
God, it sounds exhausting.
which we're about to do right now.
Today.
Jeez.
Would you say that in the past, with the advent of DIY, now you have the demographic that is the sort of career rock and roller? Whereas before, like, if you played rock music or whatever, you either had some sort of backing, you know, like financial backing or whatever, or at some point you just stopped because you couldn't do it anymore. Whereas now, I think with the advent of the DIY ethos, you can like have a sustainable career, like almost like a job, but that's a dirty word. But playing rock music, which I don't think you ever really had until maybe the last 20 years or something like that.
Well, before it's like, if your label dropped you, that's that.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Unless you want to throw like, you know,
Exactly.
all kinds of money behind yourself to record in a studio,
Yeah.
which is the only way.
Yeah, the whole DIY thing, it almost feels counterculture. It's non-traditional.
It's not
Everyone's able to do it themselves. And that kind of goes along with certain genres of rock music, metal, punk. That's all that started was to be counterculture and be able to do things your own way.
It is fun to make your own decisions. Like, we're gonna go on the road this time. Like, we're gonna do this, rather than somebody telling us like when we have to release something or when we have to. Given it would be nice to have like somewhat of a mentor, but we have complete creative control right now. And
That's true.
And I've read so many interviews where, you know, someone gets signed by a big label and then they have to fight to the death about some, like, their creative ideas, you know, the albums, and it's just, you know, it's a kind of a
Yeah, you really lose a large
non-free,
part of your sound, which is really sad.
Right, yeah.
Do you guys remember that thing? You guys remember Michelle Branch? Exactly.
No, that's Vanessa
No,
Carlton.
sorry.
Oh yeah, that's Vanessa
Michelle
Carlton.
Branch is
Same thing.
everywhere to me.
I remember she went through a big thing where she recorded like this whole album, and like her label turned it down and they wouldn't release it, and then she just straight up
Released it.
no, she just said, I'm out, I'm done, and she doesn't do music or record music.
Wow.
Yeah,
So let
she-
him get her.
Y'all remember that thing with Fiona Apple where all of her fans were sending her label apples? to like protest them not releasing our album the way
Yeah,
she wanted
I
it to
actually
be
met the guy that
released
was leading that
Wow.
whole revolt.
Really?
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah, he's a really big part of like the atheist secular movement, but he's also a big Fiona Apple fan for some reason.
I'm a
Dude,
huge Fiona
we
Apple.
love
She's
Fiona
Apple.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that works out. And then, I don't know, there's so many aspects to this. The whole like, you have the engineer people that want to start the sound, you have the producers that want to start the sound, the editors. The money that goes into to playing shows and stuff. I really liked, I think it was Fugazi that they never made any of their shows over like $10 or something.
I think it was $5.
$5,
Yeah.
something insanely cheap ever. And you know how big they are, they're huge. And,
That's cool.
and they did it because they didn't want just the people that could afford $50 seats to be at their shows, which is pretty awesome.
That is
Although I'm
awesome.
sure you want that someday, maybe?
Yeah. No.
No.
What would you say?
Seated shows.
Well, that's a big, that's something I learned about in Nashville, the Ryman Theater. That's a huge thing there, like 2,000 person theater shows for $200 tickets. You know, like, well, we're gonna play for a small market that can all afford it and still make as much as playing the arena for a $40 ticket, you know, which is right across the street.
Right, I see.
Which is kind of a smart move, because if you get people, like in particular, like I brought up Sam Smith earlier, you know, he's getting huge and winning Grammys. He played in Nashville. And I think the tickets were like $250 or something for a small, but he had that niche market of people that were gonna pay $250 to be one of the 2,000 people there.
And I think ticket sales are definitely rising due to the fact that the records aren't selling, you know, because of
It's the only way people can make money.
streaming is, you can make money through tour and that's about it.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I mean, all your music's available for streaming.
Yeah, it's all up there.
And you're
I
okay with-
feel like it's
This is
the future and it's gonna change. I don't know.
It's definitely not going to stop us from making music.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah, we're gonna be
Nobody's buying
touring.
my stuff. They just keep streaming it on.
Well, playing live is the thing now.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
to be clear, we're not doing this to make money.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing it because it's, you know. It's
Well, there's a level of
love.
sustainability, though. Yeah. I mean, do you guys all have your own jobs as well? How does this work out?
yeah,
Yeah.
somewhat. But the band is we're pretty much
Dirty word.
broke.
Okay.
Well, we're pretty much broke, but I mean
I want to see the finances.
We make it happen.
we make it happen, and I think it's kind of like an investment to be broke right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Rather than saying like, well, I can't go on tour because I need to work 6 months. Well, those 6 months could have been 6 months of like heavy touring.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, every day we're getting older, I would much rather like be broke now than be broke in 10 years.
Right, yeah, we're all on terrible health insurance.
Zero.
But like, great. No, you didn't sign up for Medicaid?
I'm,
Do it,
I'm
man.
taking the tax penalty.
You still you gotta do it. Just a few more weeks.
I haven't been to the doctor in about 10 years, so I'm just gonna keep riding
You'll be
that
fine.
for a while until
Yeah.
I can make enough money. to pay
It's not
for
too hard. I just did it the other day, actually.
Really?
Because my personal insurance is so bad, I
Yeah.
can still have so much money, and so it kind of like helps subsidize some of the costs or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah,
they're not that
small.
bad about it.
It's
I'll
really,
lay
yeah,
it
it's
at
like the
you.
emergency room too. If you have to go to the emergency room, you're effed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also technically
Without
not
health insurance.
a resident of California yet, so
Right.
I'm still on my Louisiana
Oh,
address.
yeah.
But
Seeing how hard
that
you
changes
guys,
everything.
how hard you guys play at night. Like I think
We'll
you're
give it
gonna
one
make
more
run
year.
every night.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
definitely break my heart every night.
Yeah,
Aw.
that's sad.
But it's so fulfilling.
Yeah,
I love.
you are so into it when you play. I love it. It's good stuff. It really adds to the whole vibe of the you all are.
And that's
I see you
not, it's not an
practicing
act.
before.
I mean, the clothes might be like, you know, we
Sure.
definitely take into account what we wear and stuff, but the energy is not an act.
Right.
And it comes from, we grew up in the hardcore and like punk scene, like you
Yep.
went crazy, you
Right,
know,
right.
because you were feeling it.
Well, that was sometimes it's the only way to convey a certain thing. Like I think like Jessica's like hand motions and stuff like.
Yeah,
you have to-
you're.
you have to
What's that
narrate.
about?
You have to narrate. You have to show people what they're watching because a lot of if you just stand there sometimes. This is the last time I'm going to talk about Deerhoof, but like their guitar players make the strangest faces on stage, and
Who
it
am I?
just yeah, John's eyes are like rolling to the back of his head and stuff, and you start feeling just like him when you watch it. And I would love for somebody to feel like me for a second while we're playing.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many concerts I've been to, just like almost in tears because I'm just like, oh my god, like Casey Crescenzo from Deer Hunter or Dar Palumbo from Glassjaw are so passionate about it, and like you can't help but like want to cry.
Yeah. Fiona Apple, I cried at her concert, which was $70, but totally worth it. She just like threw herself on the floor and was just like,
it's amazing,
writhing on stage, and it was the most emotional thing I've ever seen.
What's her name? She broke her arm on tour. Her last
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, yeah.
I think she broke her leg because she was crowd surfing and she fell off the stage or something.
I've seen her. I haven't seen her play live, but she's always super into it.
Love
so amazing.
Annie.
You gotta go for it, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I was thinking about this the other day. I need to start bringing stuff on stage that I can just break. Because I can't like push the keyboards over because then they're breaking.
You should. When Andrew starts doing feedback, you should just push it.
Or you could be Jewish and just get glass and
stomp it out.
Yeah.
But see, it's not about.
When I was, go ahead.
Go ahead, no, you go ahead.
No. What I was saying is,
they said go ahead and they started talking. That was amazing. Yeah,
You gotta take control.
It's not about like obviously breaking or violent or necessarily, but it's about expressing something like that physically.
Yes.
And then like evoking a sort of visceral feeling, if that even makes sense.
It does.
From the audience that combined with the music is something that you wouldn't get from just one or the other.
Sure. You know, there's like, I think it's in Japan or somewhere weird. They have rooms now. There's tiny rooms. You rent out the room and you rent out equipment. You rent out a bat or a golf ball.
Yes, I've heard
and you
about
just beat the shit out of ceramic things out of plates.
I've heard about
What?
that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's all the people that are on the verge of becoming like a psychopath.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
they just set up the room for you. It's all nice when you get in there. And by the time you walk out, you just set your golf club down or whatever.
Good person.
I used to put wine bottles in like pillowcases and smash them.
Really?
Yeah, it feels really good.
When did you do that?
2021, you know.
The golden age.
Drinking age.
Yeah, you were
Yeah, I was more like smashing
crazy.
beer cans on
Yeah,
the
it
flip
was
cup table.
like,
I thought you were gonna be like,
Dumping
yeah, it's like 8 or
Everclear down my
9.
nose.
Yeah. Mommy's wine bottle.
That's so dark.
Stop killing squirrels.
I used to do that classic like slam the door 6 times in a row thing when
I do.
your mom would make you
Oh yeah, you would throw like
hoping it would break.
your baseball up against the door, right? Like during. Didn't you say
So
that?
what the
Like
hell
you
are
would
you
just
talking
like you would just lay down in bed and like throw something at the door, kick it.
That was
Come
the
on.
other guitarist.
That
Come
was
on.
Chris. Yeah, I did that.
Tell us.
Okay, I did that.
Okay.
That's good.
No, I did it. I would turn on Limp Bizkit, or Korn, or Kid Rock even maybe, or Slipknot, and
All the originals.
and I had my JVC Kaboom box with the subwoofers that came out of it. I'd lock the doors and I would just like have my own personal mosh pit
Nice.
and just scream about the broken home I was living in
Yeah.
and cry and throw stuff
Throw
at the
baseballs.
door, throw baseballs at the door.
That childhood angst really
Yeah.
goes up in you. I think that's probably why we all, we were listening to hardcore music.
Probably.
I didn't. Yeah, I had the
That's how
opposite
much
reaction to divorce. All I wanted to do was like rub my mom's feet and like make her,
Whoa. What's happening? Where is this going?
make her breakfast in bed, just like support her, you know.
That's great.
Yeah.
Are we all
have-
from divorced parents? Are all of us from divorced parents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That's the new
Awesome.
thing. What is it, 51%?
But no,
or something?
his parents stay together.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Losers.
Too gross. I think Louis C.K. has a good joke. He's like, nobody's ever divorced and been sad about it.
Yeah.
At least not the people that were, and it ruins it for the kids. And when my parents divorced, that was the best thing that ever happened.
Right?
So good. It's like,
Right.
no more fighting, no more, now I could just listen to
It's
music.
almost like a family isn't supposed to work forever.
Yeah.
You know what
The
I mean?
idea of the nuclear family almost seems so outdated that it's like now,
Taboo.
yeah, it's almost like taboo now.
It's so funny because, so one time we were going to pick up one of my friends it was a friend of a friend, and so we'd go to her house to go pick her up, and we walk in the living room, and they're all on, like, not like the U-shaped couches, but it's huge. And there's 10 people, and they're all staring at the TV, and they're all talking to each other, and they're all cousins and family members. And I actually felt kind of gross. It was just so, it was exactly what you were saying. It was like, it was so unorthodox. I'm like, why is everyone getting along?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, I think there's so much you can learn from, you know, inheriting separate worlds.
Yeah.
Of like, I lived with my dad, my mom lived in a different country, you know, my mom had a new husband, and you learn things from that person.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
And Jessica has like 15 different parents. I'm kidding, guys. But I mean,
she's gonna make her cry.
I'm saying that she's had so much like outer inspiration.
Sure. And there was no bitterness. You got along with your second dad, third dad, your second mom, third mom.
It always,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's good. To look in a positive light.
Both of my parents were each other's last, like, relationship, really. Over the last, they haven't really dated anybody else. I think they were very, 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 they were really focused on, like, making the kids, like, their #1 priority. And didn't think that it would be, like they'd have time, even for, like, another relationship. But I kind of wish they had. I wish they'd, like really got, like, tried it.
So that wouldn't be weird for you if the mom started dating Jim at the office, or?
No, I'd actually.
Not at this point,
Not
huh?
at this point. I'd be really, really happy for
Oh,
it.
that's great.
I'd be really happy for it.
Jim at the office.
If anybody's out
I don't know where
there,
that came from.
any
but,
gyms at the office,
Yeah.
there's a single lady.
Any Jodies out there?
Yeah,
Jody's.
yeah. I can't even imagine my parents being with other people. It'd be so weird. They've been broken up for, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years or something.
I can't imagine your parents even together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much they hate each other. I'm in the same boat. I've never seen them get along, actually, my whole life. My brother remembers a time way back when they liked each other, and I was like, what the hell was that like? Like they talked to each other? Like, how did that go? You know?
Crazy.
It is crazy to know that they were once in a...
Can we go off record for a second here?
Sure. Like, of you guys performing, or a handful of you guys performing, like in a theater? Was it a Led Zeppelin cover?
Yeah.
What
That was a long time
That
ago.
was really, it seemed like a big stage. You guys had like hula hoop people? What was that?
Yeah, in Baton Rouge, we were always like trying to go to the next level with the
We
shows.
played at the Planetarium, and then we played, that was the Manship Theater.
These were all sit-down shows as well.
Oh.
People would have to sit down.
Was
No,
it
that's-
as
we were
Moon
standing.
Honey? Was it?
Huh?
Yeah.
This was, I guess this
That was
was.
Twin
That was
Killers.
Moon Honey?
No,
That was
it's
Twin
Twin
Killers?
Killers.
But
Okay.
we would, you know, we would get like choirs, string people, and orchestras, dancers, and
That's
everything.
amazing.
Just
How are you
try-
able to get all these people?
It would take like months
Friends.
Really?
to put together, and then we'd do it one time, and then be over.
3 months for 3 minutes song.
Exactly. Isn't that funny how it works out?
It is
It's
fun.
like 12-hour drives every day for 25 minutes of
Yeah.
going. And I think that's another reason why the energy you mentioned on stage, by the time we actually get out of the van and drive, like I'm ready to just
Time.
shake it off, you know?
Yeah.
I
That's
have
how-
to do 12 hours worth of workout
Okay.
in 25 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it seems like.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work.
And I just love playing the drums, so I get like all day. I finally get to play them for 30
Yeah.
minutes, and that's like, all right,
Yeah, I feel you. That's
I
what
got
I
what
do.
I
But I don't sit and I saw you actually practicing. Like you're
right,
you're
yeah. Well, I was telling somebody this the other day. I was talking about my drumline background. In college, we rehearsed 12 hours a day playing, for at least for
12
camp.
hours.
We had a week of camp.
Okay.
And at that point, you're like, you can play anything as long as you want without ever like cramping but on tour, I'd play every night, put them away, and then I started realizing my muscles were sore, and like,
Oh really?
I couldn't play as good as I'd like to. So I started getting back, I got my practice pad when we were in Baton Rouge and got back into stretching and warming up and stuff, which
Wow.
is really important. Jessica warms up her voice every night, which is equally as important.
Yeah, I'm just in the like dirtiest bathrooms. Oh.
I think people that have never been in a situation where you have to play for 12 hours or like don't realize, but I had friends get tendonitis and
Yeah,
pull
my
muscles
voice used
really
to go
bad.
out so quick and on tour.
Definitely.
You've been
Not taken
able to
care of.
figure out how to
how to extend it, yeah, how to take care of it, you know, it's an instrument, and
Exactly
take
like
bad
if
care of
you-
your body.
Yeah, it's like if you go to the gym and lift weights for a month and then stop for a month, you're gonna look like crap. When
Sure.
you're done, you're not gonna look like.
Speaking
Mr.
of which,
Buff.
we haven't got to exercise any on this tour.
No.
Yeah, no, we're
It's
gaining
so
weight.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Did you bring your exercise shoes?
Yeah,
Did.
Cardio
got
is-
my running shorts.
Did, but we're just
Right.
always so tired. No, that's no excuse, no excuse. Really
Well,
what
even
it
just
is,
sitting for 12 hours a day is tiring.
I'm ready to
It
get
is,
back
yeah.
home and start running.
and usually we wake up in people's houses that we're not too close with, so
Sure.
the goal is to get out as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And not be like, which we kind of did today, but not be like, we're gonna go on a
Good job.
jog, then we're gonna wash clothes, take 5 showers, like eat lunch, and then we'll be out. Like,
Right,
you know.
right.
I wonder what the equivalent of our stage energy, like, you know how they say having sex is like running 3 miles or something? I wonder what the equivalent of like playing guitar that insanely for 30 minutes is to jogging.
I don't
It
know.
might be up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like.
You, yeah, for
Only
sure.
like a mile though.
Yeah, you don't stop when you're on stage. You're.
I'd say a mile.
I probably burn like
I
30,
found
minutes,
myself-
30 calories doing like.
I found myself
using a lot of
stopping
lung capacity
Yeah.
now.
I
I mean, you really belt it out when you're on stage. It's not, you don't hold back.
I work my diaphragm.
Have you heard of this?
I should have a 6-pack by now.
Have you heard of this singer that? Well, she's a screamer, but it's like this middle-aged woman, and she like gives out certificates for people that can scream.
Oh, you're talking about the lady with the...
Yeah.
What's her name?
She did the video. She taught like every time I die. And all
Yeah,
this.
yeah. She taught them, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's so
How to
weird.
scream.
We
like,
watched
right
the
away.
video.
Yeah.
We did?
She's a professional screamer. She
Oh,
teaches
while we were
people how to
recording?
scream.
No, I can't remember. But she's like taught all these hardcore band singers how to keep screaming, I guess.
It's so weird, yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was on Discovery Channel actually too, and it's like they show like your vocal box getting shred apart when you're screaming, you know, because like what's his name from The Used had to get his box replaced. Sonny Moore, Skrillex dude, he had to get his box replaced because
I mean, if there's in any physical action, there's always a right and there's one right way to do it and many wrong ways.
sure.
You know?
Sure. What's his Incubus?
Oh yeah, he had a
Ruined his
carpal
wrist,
tunnel,
yeah.
probably, huh? Carpal tunnel.
What's her face? Fire burning.
Adele.
So she kind of
Cigarettes.
she smokes cigarettes. Yeah. She
Oh.
had to cancel like.
Do that.
Well, her album just got huge. Yeah. Her album got huge, and she had this like $1 billion tour to go on, and she had to cancel it
Jeez.
because her.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, you have to take care of yourself. You know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in that car.
Maybe it was some rare disease, and I'm just being mean. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I saw you guys coming out of your car too, and it was like a clown car. So you guys
Yeah,
kept
we got
coming out.
backed up and all been
It was,
there.
how many people are in this band? I don't remember.
All of our gear and all of us are in there somehow.
Mary Poppins bag.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We had a 13-person party in there for the South by show.
That's
Right?
true. We did.
13?
Yeah, we have pictures of it. There's
In New Orleans,
13
we had 18 people in there.
Dude, really?
You can't stand up, so it was an orgy. In other words, I
Essentially.
don't
It
under.
was really nasty and raining at South by, so we didn't really want to go anywhere. We just all huddled with the band.
You guys had a bad South by experience.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
With the rain and
Yeah,
everything, it was
it's
good.
good.
It was
Good.
great.
We were having a great time in the band.
Yeah.
Cool. Any cool bands? You saw?
Did we? Yeah.
We only saw Deer Huff, which they were great.
You swore you wouldn't mention me.
I saw this one.
Oh yeah, I saw Hawthorne Heights.
Hawthorne Heights? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Right.
It's not just weird that you saw, it's weird that they're together and
Yeah.
that they're
back,
playing
maybe.
music and yeah, starting that
We
stuff.
probably have to get on the road soon.
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we've
Well,
done
the
20
Hawthorne
minutes.
This was the
Heights.
best hangout of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah, this is really cool.
I've never maybe I need to always start filming.
How's the shirt look on film?
Hanging out with friends.
You gotta tell me I look like some weird Vegas like cheese dick in the
That'd be
shirt,
dope.
like walking up and down like.
No way, dude.
All I know is that cheese and dick back to back are the best
I think
words.
you need to.
I need to wear this to Vegas and just go
You
gamble
need to
a
take.
lot.
You need to not wear a shirt underneath that.
That was a popular. My grandmother had that print and many.
It's a
Yeah,
lady,
it's
it's an old lady's shirt.
Totally.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the buttons are backwards. I have a really hard
Nice.
time with that.
It was like an
super,
80s.
Manly though.
It makes it's like Hugh Hefner. It's not really like Playboy
Hugh
Mansion.
Hefner.
Maybe I'll tuck it in, it'll look better.
Yeah.
Shane's a mini Hugh Hefner.
It's gonna look good with a suit. I'm gonna wear it with a suit.
0 to 0. Make
Give me
the
that.
same.
Give me that smoker bird.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thank
Absolutely, that
you
was
so
great.
much. Yeah.
Wow.
I hope you can pick the best parts out of a lot of talking.
So you want me to cut out That one part about the
Anything where it says
sex.
off the record.
Yeah, you said off the record.
Anything where it seems like our parents would get upset.
We were a grown man, boy.
You wouldn't even get on the interview.
I'm on the interview.
Maybe every time we each got up to go pee.
Yeah, I'll just replace you with like
Yeah, something.
a shitty dummy or something in the video.
Shane, why don't you start off this video with you playing the thing on camera?
Yeah, we could do that. Sounds like
Come on.
a
Take your shirt off and just
Blue Nutty Band. What is that'll be the intro, and it'll be on loop for a little
slow
while.
it down.
She sold that necklace for $6.
What's today? The 24th?
24th.
Fourth.
Alright, I recorded it too.
You what?
Recorded
She
it.
just recorded it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it won't sound very
I got
good.
a great video of me dropping my drumstick right in the pause of Lady Last.
That was so strange.
Shane,
Actually, if it's
Shane, will you
possible,
take a
could you
picture?
send it to me?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Will you take a picture of one of us? When Andrew gets out of the bathroom? I could have
Did you
recorded
say
this.
one of us?
Oh.
She just said one of us.
Me?
Yeah, can you take a picture of me?
Yeah, I'll wait for him.
So I have to ask, have you
Light.
guys had like an interview-ish kind of thing like this before, where you all sat around and?
No, never. This was like a round table.
We've done
Okay,
like,
Literally and, you know,
Figuratively.
Yeah,
well, literally and literally.
we've done like,
This is like a master
we've done
class.
lots of radio and like meeting up for, newspaper interviews.
Okay.
But
Where they only take the snippet of.
no video interviews, really.
Right.
I don't think.
Where you all look at stuff.
I was thinking we need to do something. We could have done it in Baton Rouge where I want to get like all of our parents to interview us.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that'd be
a video
cool.
out of
You
it.
should make a music video of your mom singing all the songs in the car.
You should make a music video of all of y'all's parents playing y'all's instruments.
That'd be
I
awesome.
think was that done?
I could get my grandma to play drums. She would do it.
Have you guys seen the bands interviewing bands now? That's kind of a thing.
No.
Yeah, I think there's a
not
whole like
Come on, Pat.
channel for it or something.
I like the kids interviewing bands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've
Those are
seen
really
that.
cute.
Yeah, I saw some kids interviewing Tame Impala.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was adorable. Dillinger Escape Plan, which was weird. Why are they interviewing them? But I saw Touche Amore and La Dispute. They were interviewing each other. It's kind of a, I guess it's a thing now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool though to see. I mean, it makes more sense. Musicians interviewing musicians.
I don't know if this is taking pictures.
Have you seen
You gotta
Glassjaw
hold
play
it
recently?
down until it.
I
Like
probably
last
saw them
3 years?
last year. Yeah,
I've never. They're one of my favorite like bands.
that's my favorite
That-
band. Yeah,
and,
I've seen them like
I've
7
never seen
times
them.
or something. You have to.
They
And
never came to Louisiana ever. They closest they came recently to San Antonio.
They will play. They play LA at least
LA.
once a year.
I'm sure, yeah. And they are also secretive about it. Like their Facebook will be like 3:10.
Yeah.
Is that a show on March 10th?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are super secretive. They send like